All right, let me repeat. Hello, folks. How are you? How have you been? What's the update about the World Cup? Which one is your favorite team? It's been a while that I haven't um given any free lesson in my TikTok live classroom. I hope you come back and join my free lesson today. I am very happy if you can come and learn together with me this afternoon here in Jakarta time. It's around 8 minutes before 5 p.m. in the beautiful afternoon before sunset. Wherever you are, I hope you are happy, healthy, prosperous, peaceful, and always being close with good friends, good human beings instead of the mean and cruel one. All right. So, right now I'm thinking to share about IELTS reading passage and just a casual chit chat and casual sharing about the topic of the history of coffee, and then we'll think about five useful words that we can take out from the passage. I have used this topic about the history of coffee before for the practice of my students' IELTS reading preparation course. And yeah, that's why I would like to share it with you too. Besides sharing about the passage. Like I said, we'll talk about the useful vocabulary, and then perhaps we will come up with two discussion questions that can be our takeaways too. All right, let me start. So, like I said, the topic is about the history of coffee. So, the bitter and beautiful history of coffee. Who doesn't like coffee? I mean, I have stomach issue, but I still love coffee. And I found the strategies that I need to eat something else first, at least the carbo like rice, potato, cassava, or something like that, so I can enjoy my coffee happily. So yeah, um, the story of coffee begins in the ancient Ethiopian plateau, where popular legend credits a 9th century goat herder named Kaldi. That's what the history say if you Google with its discovery. So Mr. Kaldi noticed that his flock became remarkably energetic and refused to sleep after eating red berries. At that time, he didn't know the name yet that it was coffee, so he called it berries from a certain shrub. Intrigued, he brought the berries to a local monastery, and then the monks, initially disapproving, tossed them to a fire, unfortunately, only to be captivated by the rich aroma that filled the room. So, it's very magic that the monks didn't accept the coffee given by Mr. Kaldi, but then they threw the berries away to the fire, and magically, it's actually a method called roasting, right? So um, they quickly rack the roasted beans from the embers, dissolved them in hot water, and created the world's first cup of coffee magically. So then, by the 15th century, coffee cultivation and trade were thriving in the Arabian Peninsula, particularly in the country currently known as Yemen. It became deeply integrated into religious practices. Some Sufi saints drank the infusion to stay awake for late night spiritual vigils like meditations or prayers. And then public coffee houses, known as cafe khane, began to spring up across Near Eastern cities. These spaces then quickly evolved into vibrant social hubs where people met to play chess, listen to music, and even debate politics, earning them the nickname schools of the wise. And then coffee made its way to Europe in the 17th century, which is 2 centuries later, where it initially faced suspicion and was even dubbed the bitter invention of Satan. Oh my God, by local clergy. However, Pope Clement VIII tasted the beverage, enjoyed it, and gave it papal approval. Wow, thanks God, it's blessed then. Then European coffee houses rapidly became centers of intellectual and commercial exchange in London. For a penny, customers could purchase a cup of coffee and engage in very high level conversations with scientists, artists, and even merchants. So it's like the moment for the networking and gathering. As global demand skyrocketed, European powers raced to establish coffee plantation in their colonies. Yeah, at that time, still the colonization era in many parts of the world outside the Europe. The Dutch themselves successfully smuggled coffee plants out of the Middle East to cultivate them in Java, Indonesia. Yes, the Java island. While the French introduced them to the Caribbean, by the 19th century, coffee had become a massive global commodity, reshaping agricultural landscapes and economies across the Americas, particularly in Brazil today. Right now, it stands as one of the most widely consumed beverages on the planet Earth, driving a multi-billion-dollar global industry. So, that's the passage that I have read you. Did you find any interesting words that can be your takeaways? For me, there are five interesting words that can be useful for our IELTS reading skill. Number one, plateau is a noun, which means a large flat area of land that is raised high above the surrounding area. That's plateau. Number two, another noun, infusion, which means a drink made by soaking leaves, berries, or herbs in liquid, usually hot water, to extract their flavor and properties. Number three, another noun, but sometimes can be used as adjective, which is intellectual. It means relating to the ability to think deeply, reason, and understand complex ideas. If it's used as an adjective, but if it means a noun, it is a person possessing a highly developed intellect. Number four, commercial. Of course, it's an adjective. It means related to buying, selling, and trading of goods and services for business purposes. Last one, commodity. It's another noun, which means a raw material or primary agricultural product that can be bought and sold on a large scale. For example, coffee, wheat, gold, etc. So those are the five words that for me are useful yet interesting for improving our IELTS reading skill. Now, I have two questions for our discussion. Besides giving you the questions, I will also propose two suggestions to respond it. Indirectly, this also can be the medium for our speaking practice in IELTS. So, at the end of the class, you can also try to answer the question. You can type it on the chat box, or maybe you can think by yourself back there at home or wherever you are right now. You are listening this class. So, my first question: why were early coffee houses in both the Middle East and Europe referred to by terms like schools of the wise or intellectual hubs? This is interesting question. I I was very interested in the nickname actually, schools of the wise. So for me, my answer is coffee houses back then became intellectual hubs because they completely shifted the social dynamic of daytime gathering spaces. Unlike traditional unlike traditional taverns where alcohol were served, Coffee houses provided a stimulating, sober environment fueled by caffeine. So that's the comparison. This encouraged clear headedness, intense focus, and sharp debate because people from different social classes can be merchants, artists, scientists, politicians, anyone. They were invited, they were welcome. Sat together at common tables, these spaces naturally fostered democratic conversations, the sharing of news, and the birth of new philosophical and commercial ideas. So that's why I like the idea of schools of the wise back then. In the early discovery of coffee in Middle East and Europe. Okay, my second question, which is also the last, how did coffee transition from a localized plant on the Ethiopian plateau to a global commodity? Interesting. Even though it has been mentioned on the passage that I shared to you, but we also can brainstorm together. My response will be the transition, of course, happened in stages driven by religion, trade, and colonial expansion because of the history, of course. It began locally in Ethiopia, like I said in the passage, but its structured cultivation started in Yemen for religious alertness among the monks that I told you. From the Arabian Peninsula, trade routes carried it across the Ottoman empires. Once Europeans developed a taste for it in the 17th century, more or less, the massive demand prompted European empires to break the Middle Eastern trade monopoly. Then they systematically smuggled plants out and established vast plantation system in their tropical colonies across Asia, including Indonesia, and the Americas, including Brazil, permanently integrating coffee into the global trade network. What about your response? You can type on the chat box. You can send a message to this account, my account English for All, or you can just take notes at home, or you can practice asking these questions with your friends during your cafe time, enjoying some latte or Americano perhaps. All right. So, have you had your first, second, or third cup of coffee today? For me, yes. This morning I had, after my yoga, I had a roasted hazelnut aren latte. Very long name. But yeah, for sure, aren is my favorite. That's actually from the palm sugar. Okay, that's all that I can share today. I hope this IELTS reading practice can be useful for you. Also, the words, the vocabulary, the discussion also can give add-on to your speaking practice of your IELTS preparation. Don't be worried too much about your preparation. You can reach me out. You can contact me if you need a teacher, a tutor to accompany your journey for the IELTS preparation test, or maybe simply to practice your general English or your preparation to improve your professional presentation, perhaps. Who knows? Okay. Ciao. See you later. Thank you for coming to my free class this afternoon. Bye bye. Take care and see you later.